Welcome to this tutorial about generic sort methods. So I assume you know how to sort an integer array or a string array. So this tutorial will then build on this and demonstrate how you could sort any kind of object, not just any given string or integer array. So for this purpose I have this cylinder class here, which has one property called radius, and I want to compare different cylinder objects only based on their radius. And in Java this is best done if we implement the comparable interface, because many of the Java sorting methods use this as a default. And when it says implements comparable and cylinder, this is a type parameter saying that it can compare cylinder objects. Good. So let's make, I have some code that makes these objects. So let's check it out. So this is pretty standard Java code here, nothing fancy going on at all. I import here this cylinder class, and I import random to make a random diameter, a radius. Yes, and then I call selection sort on this cylinder object. But obviously there's a compile error saying that the method selection is not applicable for the argument cylinder. And we can change that by adding something called a type parameter to this method. And we use for historic reason the letter T here, but this could be anything. So we could just type any name here. It will be valid. But T is just a letter we in Java environment we choose to do. Okay, so we need now to replace all the occurrences of string with T here, like this. And now we're almost there, because this compare on line 52 here, it has to know that the objects it compares actually do implement the comparable interface, and we have to promise it by specifying that this T actually does implement comparable. And in Java we say extends, which means it implements comparable, and we need to say which type of object it will compare, and it will compare the same type as we give as the type parameter for this method. Okay, so if I run this now, you can see it sorts with no problem. The values for the radius are sorted afterwards. Okay, so now we can sort also cylinder objects. So now the last part. How about, what if we make a subclass of cylinder called Coke bottle? And I also want to sort those with the same method. Okay, how do I do that? So let's make a new class called Coke bottle, and we make it inherit the cylinder class like this. And I need to have the constructor in place here, yes. But notice that I do not implement comparable interface here, and I do not implement the method. Okay, because I will use the fact that the parent class, which is cylinder, actually does implement the comparable interface and the compare to method. So now we will make an array of Coke bottles instead of cylinders. So here, replace it with Coke bottle, place it with Coke bottle here, and replace it with Coke bottle here. See, now the problem is it's not completely satisfied. It says here in fancy Java terms, bound mismatch. And what this means in plain English is that we have promised that this T will implement comparable, that's Java for extends, and what we provide here is the Coke bottle, and the Coke bottle does not implement it because there's no implements comparable here. Okay, so but we can ease up these restrictions. So we can say, okay, maybe you don't have the comparable, you referring to Coke bottle, but maybe your parent does. And if your parent does, you can say question mark super. And this question mark means that there should exist some class above T in this class hierarchy, which actually does implement comparable. And if I save here now, you see the compile error went away. So, and now I can run it, and beautifully it will run also. So the trick is that we use the parent class compare method to like help the Coke bottle. And this way we can sort any type that extends cylinder class. And that's what I want to tell you.